is it we've had 3 different Spider-Men, 3 different Supermen, and 5 different Batmen before we've had 1 Wonder Woman movie? All I can say is it's about time. Hello everybody, how's it going? I am LazerDude99. This is another one of my videos for the superhero predictions of the movies coming out in 2017. So, next we got Wonder Woman. And as I say, it's about time that Wonder Woman has finally got her own movie. I felt pissed when she was in Batman v Superman and didn't get a credit, okay? Wonder Woman is not a character that should just be thrown in there under the rug. But here we go, she's getting her own movie, and it's in a unique setting. So let's start, what do we get from the trailer? Well, the trailer shows that it's World War I. We got Wonder Woman being raised up. She's surrounded in some secrecy. I mean, we see from the trailers that she knows she's born of clay, but there's some other secret around her, so we don't know exactly what that is, so that's going to be something that we're going to find out. But one day, a pilot named Steve Trevor, played by Chris Pine, not to be confused with Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans. Man, that's going to be so confusing. Honestly, I mix the actors and the characters' names up all the time. I mean, seriously, watch my first Captain America review. I say Steve Trevor. At least one of my Captain America reviews. I can't remember which. Anyway, he crash lands into Themyscira and, tells them, hey, there's a big war going on outside. This is all weird and nice and everything, but yeah, there's war going on outside. And Diana says, hey, I'm going to go help, because we're supposed to protect the world, but we're not doing really well protecting by just hiding out in here on our island. And so, of course, she goes into a world of men, and in a time period where, let's just say, women didn't get a right to vote. Beyond that, we actually don't know a lot about the details of what's going on. But we know there's this, I believe it's this woman called Dr. Poison or something, and she's obviously one of the, but I don't think that she's going to be the main villain. I don't get that feeling. I have a feeling it's going to be something more deeper in this. But even if she is, that's all we see from the trailer. We just see this woman with this, cracked up face and this weird expression. And I don't really know if that's, the main threat, the main villain. I have a feeling Ares, God of War, is going to be involved in some way, but in what way, I don't know. So what am I most excited for? I'm excited to see a Wonder Woman movie. I mean, we live in a day and age where women movies are starting to take off. Women leads are happening more often. And I'm excited to see Gal Gadot back, because I actually liked what I saw from her as Wonder Woman. Sure, she's not as tall as I would like her, but guess what? Hugh Jackman isn't as short as I would like him. So, you take what you can get. And honestly, I think that so far she has given me nothing but good Diana Themyscira. From what I like about the trailer is the fact that, other people are trying to dodge issues or walk around things where she's just being herself and she's not changed for anybody, I like that because it shows that she's, here to, she's here to fight a war, and even if the men's like, no, women can't go up in the battle, she's like, look, I can wipe out your entire army if I wanted to, so you can't really stop me. So I'm finally excited to see Wonder Woman come to life on the big screen, because besides that quick part in Batman v Superman, when was the last time Wonder Woman was on screen? Probably Linda Carter's days. I mean, in live action form. I'm also excited for the time period, because while we have had a superhero movie set in a war before, World War II in Captain America, the First Avenger, this one is going to World War I, which is an interesting time period to go into, and it makes you like, okay, this is something different, because I think normally when people want to make a war movie, they usually go for World War II, because it's much easier to just vilify Nazis. Nazis, evil, plain and simple. Where World War I, it was more of a clash in ideals. Now, I'm not saying that people didn't take things too far. I'm not a World War I expert or anything here. But, it's like, sure, there was the Axis and the Allies, but I think it was more of a, it was alliances. People made alliances, and this spiraled into out of control and whatnot. Or for World War II, Nazis, evil. Got it. Evil. Easy. So I'm excited to see a different time period and to see how they handle it. And I'm interested to see if it's going to be this whole thing where like Ares just is feeding off of this war. Now, I don't know how they're going to end this. This is going to be interesting because is the war going to end, like, is this going to happen like near the end of the war? Or is this going to be just like, I'm interested to see like when does she leave the war? Does she leave in the middle or does she leave after it's over? I don't know. Or can she leave? Can she leave and come back? Is that even a thing? Because she's still on our, she's not back at Themyscira in Batman v Superman, so it's going to be interesting to see. So what is my biggest fear for this movie? Well, for biggest fear, I would say that I think that movies like this have to walk this certain tightrope very carefully. And that's tightrope being, women strong, hear me roar, or, sort of thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm excited to see Wonder Woman be a strong woman, but there's always this balance between doing it without coming across as pretentious, because it's just like if that's all you're doing is like women smart, women strong, women this, and men are idiots, or whatnot. And I hope that like there's the scene in the trailer which gives me hope is where like Steve Trevor starts to push Diana back. He's like let me protect you, and then the guy fires a bullet, and then she puts out and blocks it with her bracelet, and he's like maybe not. I hope that what that is it seems like, oh, okay, she's just as capable, and so then he doesn't belittle her or coddle her anymore. But there's a lot of scenes where he's like, oh, she's my secretary, or whatever. And I just hope we don't have too many scenes of women going out into battle. Like, you can have a few scenes like that. Of course, there's going to be some scenes like that, especially with the time periods it's in. But if you make it too over the top or too obvious, it's going to come across as forced and a little bit like, here we go, cliched. Now, don't get me wrong, as I say, they're going to need to have those scenes in, but as long as they feel natural. I think the animated Wonder Woman movie did a really good job of having scenes where you got some people saying things or doing things that might be mildly sexist, and that she doesn't take any of that BS from anybody. I'm not saying I want her to raise every man that, says something to her over her head or anything, but I don't want her to take anyone's crap, but I also don't want it to seem like, a little too preachy. Also, in terms of fear, I have to say that I am a little worried, but just because DC has not had the best record lately. Now, to be fair, I enjoyed Suicide Squad, and I enjoyed Batman v Superman. I won't really defend them as good movies, though. I mean, I'm not going to say that they're like the worst movies ever made or anything, but in terms of well-made and story structure and world building and whatnot, they're lacking in a lot of areas that I'm kind of like, I have to fix in my own mind. And so there is a little bit of worry that maybe like this movie was started, before they could fix those errors in the previous movies, and I wonder about that. Is there scenes where this character is, moody, or it's just being dark for the sake of dark? That's a fear. It's one that I don't see in the trailers, but let's be honest here, the previous movies had good trailers. Okay, Suicide Squad had a great trailer. Batman v Superman, it kind of made us worry from the start. But in any case, as I say, I'm really looking forward to this movie because what I see from the trailers, we get to see Wonder Woman kicking butt and doing it in every cool way possible. I hope this movie doesn't, go over the top, like Superman killed in Man of Steel, and we're all like, okay, it was a unique scenario, this is why he will never kill again, and then we're like, okay, I'm okay with that. And then we watch Batman, Dawn of Justice, and Batman's killing everybody. I'm just like, well, I don't really like that, but maybe they're going off of this thing where he's, he's lost Jason, and then he's gone to these extremes, and Superman leads him back. Maybe that's where they're going with it. I hope that's where they're going with it. I don't want Wonder Woman to be like, well, she just wiped out an entire platoon, but then again, it is World War I, and, it's a war, so I don't know, maybe this is for the best. I think superheroes are the most interesting when they don't compromise their ideals in situations that most people would. So I'm hoping that Wonder Woman is still the beacon of hope and truth and love and whatnot, and I'm hoping that comes across in the film. So what are my predictions for this movie? I don't really have a lot. The trailers do a good job of showing scenes to get you excited, but not necessarily scenes that give you a lot away. As I say, there's this military guy, and either he's just a military guy that's going to be taking things too far, or maybe he's Ares in disguise. But as for predictions of where the story is going to go, I don't know. I just, from what I see from the trailers, I think those scenes are going to happen. But beyond that, I don't really have anything. I think Etta Candy is going to be hilarious. I think I'm going to really find her funny. Although it's kind of weird because now Etta Candy in the comics is black. And so that just might confuse people if they, like the movie and go to read the comics. Wait, what? How did that happen? What? What's my excitement meter for this? This is a big one for me. I think I am really excited. That's what I'm going to put it. I'm just really excited. The meter's pretty dang high. Because that is something, this is, as I say, the first superhero movie about a woman lead since Elektra in 2005. And let's face it, there has not been a good female lead superhero movie before. There hasn't. Supergirl sucks. Catwoman, awful. Elektra, haven't seen it, but everyone hates it. And there's been good movies with superhero women leads in them, but not just solely about them, Incredibles has Violet and Mrs. Incredible, but it's mostly about Mr. Incredible. The Fantastic Four movies have all sucked, so let's not even go there. And I think it's important for DC to be the first, because this is going to be the thing that separates them from Marvel in a big way. I mean, of course, not fully, because Marvel's going to be doing their Captain Marvel thing in a little bit. But I think in a big way, it's important for Wonder Woman to be the first one. Like, we've had Jessica Jones that did a really good job for a TV series, but for a movie, I think it's important for Wonder Woman to be the first one because she was the first woman superhero. And she was the one that really made a difference in our culture at the time by giving women a strong role model to look to. So this is a very important movie, and that's why I think the excitement meter is so high for me. Now, what are the chances it's bad? Honestly, I wish this percentage was not what it was for me. But I think it has to do with one main thing: reputation. DC's movies have not had the best reputation. In fact, I think they've really struggled with finding their own identity. I'm hoping that Wonder Woman is their Iron Man, and I don't mean I hope it's like Iron Man. I hope Iron Man was the movie that started Marvel on their big run and was a world-shaping movie. We've had Man of Steel, and it was good, but there was a lot of things that were wrong with it that didn't really set up the world that well. Batman v Superman tried to do a little bit more, but the world building was so poor in that you really didn't get a feel for what type of world it was. The Suicide Squad movie did better on the world building, but was cliched in its characters and its story. So this is what I'm hoping is the world from here on out, and hopefully, because this was the last one that, it was after I think Batman v Superman, that Jeff Johns was brought in to oversee all the DC movies and have a big say in what goes in and out of those things. And so this was I believe, either this one or Justice League was the last one that was worked on. So we're going to have to wait and see how it turns out. I'm excited for it, but I think the percentage of it being a bad movie right now, I think is 50-50. I wish it wasn't that. I wish it was I want to say it's a 70% of it being a good movie, but DC just doesn't have the track record like something like Marvel does. And until they do, I gotta be realistic with this, and I think it's a 50-50 chance of it being good or bad. I feel like it's going to be good, but guess what? I feel like that about every movie. I'm an optimistic guy. I went into Fanforstic optimistic. So that is what I'm going to leave it at. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm LazerDude99, and here's hoping that this Wonder Woman movie is the movie that DC needs to hit a home run out of the park. Because we need a home run. We've had maybe a strikeout, a base hit, but we haven't had a home run. And I'm not talking about money, because they've all made a decent amount of money. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about there's movies that you would love to rewatch over and over again and to go back to, and they're going to last for a long time. That's what I want. So, thanks for watching, everybody. This has been my Wonder Woman's prediction. Join me on my next prediction. So, adios. Be sure to check out some of these other videos on my channel. And wait for more coming soon.